Okay, part two.
Okay.
To continue, your vocab reinforcement. Whenever a student, whenever a word came up that you thought maybe the whole class doesn't know, you asked for the vocab meaning of it. Whether it was, like I said, municipal, or I think some other words you had in there were filtration. You had tap
was-
water.
they
Some
did
people
some
don't
did
understand
well,
what that, water from the faucet. So that was great vocab reinforcement, especially when we're going to read the article, that they know what these words mean. Excellent job with the exemplar, by you filling out the graphic organizer, showing exactly what is expected of them, but you filling out your kind of gives them a little bit of a push to like, oh, I get what to do now. It wasn't like, here, fill it out.
Right.
So, and the use of the graphic organizer was great. You constantly brought up points that reflected the standard, author's point of view, claim and evidence. So kids are familiar with those words if they saw it on an MCAS or they saw it on an assessment, what's expected of them. So using the vocabulary in the actual standard in your lesson, I thought was great. Like I said, excellent job of exemplars, an excellent job with transitioning from, I know I didn't tape the summary, but from your summary to your explore to your launch, it was clearly what was happening next. This is what you guys are about to do this on your own, giving them some cues.
Yeah.
So I thought that was excellent. So just reading my notes here before we move on. Do you have any questions right now for me before I ask you some other questions?
No,
Okay.
I think I'm good.
Okay. Before I ask you your reflection questions, I had a couple things to, critiques. You don't have much. It was a really good, positive lesson. Do you switch pairs every once in a while, or does the same kids, or the same partners all the time?
I switch pairs,
Okay.
but this pairing has been together for a while.
Okay, because you can tell they felt comfortable with their
Yes.
partner.
Yes.
And I wasn't sure if you switched, how much of effect it would be if there was someone that they didn't know, if they would really talk to them. Or, hey, I know this person, I am going to talk to them, which might be more beneficial.
Yep. Yep.
So you do switch pairs every
I
once in a
do.
while. Okay,
I
good.
do, and we do different groupings.
Right.
Different groups of threes, groups of
Oh,
four.
good. Right.
So yeah, all really like maybe every other week they'll have a new pair or a new grouping. Sometimes they respond well, sometimes not so much. So you learn kind of who works well with whom, and then you make some choices around that.
With the mouse so it continues recording. The other thing is, I did notice,
Yeah.
small, very small, is that you asked a specific student, I think her name was Alicia, about the word municipal was.
Yeah.
And then you decided to do a turn and talk,
Yeah.
and everyone was talking. And then when you regrouped everyone back together, you went to a different student beside Alicia to give you the answer.
Yeah.
So maybe in the next time, if Alicia doesn't know it, after you turn and talk, maybe go back to her. Maybe she
Excellent point.
maybe she knows it and she'll feel a little bit
Right.
comfortable and take some pride in it.
Good point.
So that's just very little.
Yeah.
Very little. So yeah, and I love how after you did turn and talks, that you went around to each group. You didn't sit back and you got involved. You went around.
That's how you get them to
Right.
do turn and talk.
Yes.
You have to actually say, "I'm listening."
I'm listening, and
Yeah.
and you need to write this down. You got to give me reasons. You got to give me support.
Yeah.
Just don't say I disagree, but why do you disagree? And now
Right.
write it down.
Right.
So by you going around doing that really enhanced what you were trying to
Right.
do. And I love, little sidetrack, I love your classroom management when you said, when someone's talking or you're trying to talk, you don't raise your voice. You just said, I'll wait. I'll wait. I'm not going to get in an argument with you. I'll wait. And then people respect you and they stop. Or, I want you to stop your story because they're not listening.
Right.
And
Right.
get everyone redirected again.
Yeah.
So excellent job. So I have a couple of reflection questions for you. As you reflect on the lesson, to what extent were the students productively engaged?
Okay. I feel they were pretty engaged, especially with the turn and talks, and I walk around and listen. So I actually get to hear whether or not they're talking on topic. During the explore part of the lesson, I actually work with a couple groups,
Okay.
reading, annotating, note-taking, so I get to monitor.
Mhm.
And then the summary part of the lesson, kids actually come back up to the document
Yes, I
camera
saw that.
and share out their work. So that, I feel they were pretty much engaged through every part of the lesson.
Nice.
I mean, there's a few,
Yeah,
but I'm working it.
you are, you are. Did the students learn what you intended them to learn?
Yes, but this is the snafu. They might probably forget it today. So today I will start off with a review kind of that article that we've read and some sharing around that.
Okay.
And as well as the other articles, because we're going to be writing an argument essay.
Right.
And they're going to need information from all the articles that we've used.
Okay.
So, yes, but over the night, things
Right.
disappear. So
Absolutely.
you constantly have to review it.
Excellent. And did you think your instructional objectives were met during the class?
Yes, my objectives were to determine author point
Mm-hmm.
of view, as well as I added that your own point of view.
Right.
And all of them were able to articulate
Yes.
at least one part of the article's author's point of view, author's claims,
Mhm.
and then they were able to express their own.
Right.
So, although I had one student, I don't know if you saw this, who was confused about the text and was actually adding some information to what he felt was the author's point of view. So I
Okay.
had to kind of redirect him. Please, let's look back at that text. So that was,
Right.
again, we'll rework that again today.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
If you had the opportunity to teach this lesson again to the same group, would you do anything differently?
I think I would, and I'm falling back on one of your questions about the seating.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple students who sometimes when they come in, we do a lot of partner work, a lot
Right.
of discussion, but some students tend to self-isolate and
Oh,
sit
yes.
by themselves. One student in particular,
Mhm.
you know, she had some problems and
Right.
was away for a while. She tends to do that. So sometimes when I automatically pair people, I'll put stickies on the desk. There's no notice that someone is sitting by themselves and I'm asking them to move. So reflecting on that, I might do a better job
Okay.
with pairing people up.
Oh, great.
Mhm.
So overall, A+ job. You have your students respecting you. You have your students learning. You're doing what the school and district is asking you to do. I see great strides in your class. Your test scores show that. So glowing
Thank
job.
you.
Glowing job. Keep up the good work. And if there's anything I can do for you the rest of the year, let me know.
You are always a great resource.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. McCarthy. Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.